Phil Holcomb, another of my good friends. You notice I'm good friends with people that get stuff done. Phil Holcomb, one of the first classes taught at Patch were by Phil and Teresa, and we have Teresa coming up today. And Phil was heavily involved with Patch. Even when I got involved, I met Phil and Teresa, and he's like, hey, we've done this before, let us help you. And I was like, by golly, I'm with that guy. And with Teresa as well. And so they taught some of the first classes for us at Patch and got the wheels rolling. And that was a big point for us, because having somebody local, somebody that cared, and somebody that was so involved. And Phil taught an amazing amount of classes himself, and then Teresa taught an amazing amount of classes by herself, and then we taught classes together. And it was one of those moments when we were talking about everything that happens, how those people at the core, at the beginning of, it's easy to step in at the beginning, I guess, and to say, okay, I'm on board for a little while. But Teresa and Phil have been on board as long as I've been on board, which is going on 4 years now, and is steadfast. And it was always impressive. We would bring them into the Department of Education's monitoring for after-school programs, and it always blew people's minds that they taught kids how to build dulcimers, how to build glass jewelry. And then that led to our entrepreneurial programs, which Teresa and Phil started, and got us juried into Tamarack for. So we were the first and only group, as far as I know, that had a youth group, a children's school age group, that were juried in as Tamarack artists. And that was thanks to Phil and Teresa Holcomb. So just so much, and I have stories I could tell about how I rode on Phil and Teresa's coattails as well. So just imagine that part in there, and I'll skip it, make it easy for everybody. But again, just one of those groups of people that I could go up to the winery, go up to the wood shop at any time. I was up there a lot in the evening times talking to Phil and Teresa about, hey, we want to teach kids how to sell better. And they had an answer. And they always stepped in and were willing to help. And I know a lot of it inconvenienced them, because state monitoring is during the daytime. They had to switch out their business plans and so forth to come down and help us. But they were always a very strong voice and a very strong advocate for what Patch is, needs to be, and how it was going to run to best serve our kids and our working families. So Phil Holcomb and Teresa Holcomb up here too.